Good day, my name is Nicola, and in this video I'm going to be explaining factorization of polynomials. Now, first off, what is factorization? Well, factorization is the process of finding expressions which, when multiplied together, will bring the given product. So it is essentially breaking down a polynomial into expressions which are equal to the given polynomial. Okay. So, first type of factoring that we're going to look into is a common factor. So in a common factor, the entire expression is multiplied by the same term. So in the example, ax plus ay plus ac, and that is equal to a multiplied by the open bracket of x plus y plus z. And so we can see in the bracket here, a is the common factor because a is multiplied by x, a is multiplied by y, a is multiplied by z. Therefore, we can factorize these brackets by moving a outside of the bracket to indicate that when you multiply a by this bracket of x, y, z, it will result in this. So an example of this would be, let's say, 15x squared plus 6x plus 9. Okay, so at first it doesn't look like these, the integers in this bracket it doesn't look like the terms in this bracket have a common factor. But they actually do, because you notice 15, 6, and 9. What is the commonality between them? They can all be divided by 3. Okay? So, let's write out what is 15 divided by 3, that's 5. 6 divided by 3, that's 2. 9 divided by 3, that's 3. So, we can divide this entire bracket by 3 because 3 is the common factor and we are factorizing this bracket. Okay, so let's rewrite it. So, there. So we factored 3 out of the bracket, and so let's rewrite this as plus 2x plus 3. So here's the example of factorization. We were able to recognize that each of these numbers are divisible by 3. And so 3 is the common factor. And so we rewrite the bracket with having divided this bracket by 3. And so if we were to multiply the bracket again, 3 times 5x, that's 15x squared. 3 times 2x, that's 6x. 3 times 3, that's 9, so that's equal to this bracket. Let's try this with another bracket. Let's say we want to find the common factor of this bracket. Okay, well, what is a commonality between each of the integers here? They are all multiples of 4. 4 times 4 is equal to 16. 4 times 2 is equal to 8. 4 times 1 is equal to 4. Another commonality is that they're all multiplied by x. Okay, therefore, the common factor is actually 4x. Okay. So, to factorize this bracket, let's divide all of the terms by 4x. So 16x cubed by 4x, that is 4x squared. 8x squared over 4x, that is equal to 2x, because 8 divided by 4 is 2, x squared divided by x, that's x, and then 4x divided by itself is equal to 1. So rewriting this bracket, we have factorized out 4x, and we'll just rewrite the factorized terms. So x squared plus 2x plus 1. So that is factorizing out the common factor. Okay, so let's move on to factoring the difference of two squares, which is given by this equation. And you may notice that this equation looks familiar. That is because it is actually the reverse of the special product equation for the sum and difference of the same terms. Because we have a plus b here multiplied by a minus b is equal to a squared minus b squared. If we were to rearrange that, we could, moving them to the other side, we would get a squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b times a minus b, which is exactly what we have right here. So let's look at an example of this. Let's say our given equation is 36 minus b squared. So let's say in our given example, we have 36 minus b squared, and we want to factor it as the product of two binomials. Okay, so in our case, x squared is equal to our 36. So let's solve it using that. X squared equal to 36, and the y squared is equal to our b squared. So y squared to b squared. Okay, and so in factoring, we need the square roots of x squared and y squared. Okay, so but then use x equal to square root of 36, which is equal to 6. Following that, y is equal to the square root of b squared, and of course the square root of a number multiplied by itself is just the number, so b. Okay, therefore our x in our example is equal to 6, our y in our example is equal to b. So we can write this equation in this format of the product of two brackets. Okay, so we can then write it as x, which is our 6, plus b, which is our y, divided by minus b. And there you go. And so when you multiply these brackets by each other, it will be equal to the left-hand side of the equation. Let's try this again with another example. Okay, so in our second example, we have 81x cubed minus 25b squared. Okay, so by following these factoring formulas, we know that we need to get the square root of 81x to the power of 4, and we need to get the square root of 25b squared. Okay, so square root of 81x to the power of 4 is equal to 9x squared. The square root of 25b squared is equal to 5b. Okay, and so we know that 9x squared is equal to the x here, 5b is equal to the y here. So writing that in the format of a product of these two brackets, we get 9x squared plus 5b multiplied by 9x squared minus 5b.